The first time Yumi noticed something was wrong, she was standing in the shower, the hot water cascading over her shoulders as she massaged shampoo into her scalp. It had been a long day, and the rhythmic circles of her fingers were almost meditative. But then she felt it, a strange, skittering sensation just beneath the skin near her crown, like a tiny muscle twitch but deeper, more deliberate. Her fingers froze. For a moment she stood perfectly still, heart quickening, eyes closed. She held her breath, listening to the hiss of the water. Nothing. The sensation didn't return, and she exhaled slowly, shaking her head. Probably just stress, she whispered to herself. Or a nerve twitch. Steam curled around her like a veil as she finished rinsing. But the next day, the sensation came back. Yumi sat at her desk, fluorescent lights humming above and emails piling up on her screen. She was halfway through drafting a report when the twitch returned. This time sharper, more insistent. A deliberate slither beneath her scalp, like a worm testing its confines. Her pen clattered to the desk as her hand shot to her head. She dug her fingers into her thick black hair, parting strands, searching. Nothing. Just skin, warm and smooth, the familiar contours of her skull beneath. Her co-worker, June, peeked over the cubicle wall with a raised brow. "You okay?" Yumi forced a laugh. "Yeah, just, brain freeze. Coffee too cold." She turned back to her screen, but the sensation lingered like a ghost's breath at the nape of her neck. That night, while blow-drying her hair in the bathroom, she saw it. In the mirror, just over her shoulder, a single strand near her temple twitched, moved. Not from the air of the dryer, but independently, sharply, as if tugged from underneath. The motion was quick, but unnatural. Her breath caught. The dryer slipped from her hand, clattering into the sink as she leaned forward, fogging the mirror. "Not possible," she muttered. Her scalp throbbed, tight and alive. She examined it under the bathroom light, trying to part her hair, to find something, anything. Over the next few days, sleep became a stranger. Yumi lay stiff in bed, ears tuned to the quietest sounds, the silence broken only by her boyfriend Taro's breathing. Each time she drifted off, she awoke moments later, jolted by phantom sensations, movement beneath the skin, a wriggling that made her skin crawl. She took to tying her hair into a tight bun, tugging the strand so taut it hurt. The pain was grounding, real. Taro laughed when she asked him to check her scalp with a flashlight. "You're spiraling," he said gently, running his fingers through her hair. "There's nothing there. You're just overworked." The clinic doctor echoed the sentiment. "No infection, no lice, no dermatological abnormalities," he said after a 5-minute exam. "Likely psychosomatic. Stress can manifest in unusual ways. I'll prescribe a mild sedative." She nodded, clutching the prescription like a lifeline, though she knew in her gut it wasn't stress. The breaking point came during her morning commute. The train was packed, every inch filled with sleepy salarymen and students clinging to metal bars. As it jolted between stations, Yumi felt it, a distinct shift beneath the skin at the base of her skull. This wasn't a twitch. This was a slow, deliberate undulation. Something moved, pressing against nerves and tissue as it slithered upward toward her crown. Her stomach lurched. She pushed her way through the crowd, barely reaching the station bathroom before vomiting into the sink, shaking uncontrollably. She called in sick and went straight to Tokyo University Hospital. The receptionist seemed unimpressed by her tale, but a young dermatologist, Dr. Hayashi, agreed to examine her. "At first glance," he said, examining her scalp under magnification, "there's no reason for concern." Yumi clenched her fists. "Please," she whispered. "I know what I felt." He hesitated, then peered closer. His hand froze. These aren't follicles," he muttered. He leaned back, adjusted the lens, then leaned in again. Tiny, almost imperceptible holes dotted her scalp, not natural pores. Some were rimmed with faint inflammation, others glistening with clear fluid. Then, before their eyes, One of the openings exhaled, a nearly invisible bubble of air. The doctor paled. "Myiasis," he whispered. "You have larvae under your scalp." The word echoed in her head like a scream under water. The extraction took 4 agonizing hours. First, Dr. Hayashi applied petroleum jelly to her scalp, smothering the larvae's air holes. Yumi sat still, the goo thick and warm on her head, the sensation beneath her skin growing frantic. She could feel them thrashing as the air ran out, trying to dig deeper. She clenched her teeth until her jaw ached. When the doctor returned with forceps, a nurse stood by her side. Yumi refused sedation. "I want to see." The first larva came out screaming, if a maggot could scream. As the needle widened the hole, it resisted, black spines scraping her raw skin. The pain was electric. When it emerged, a segmented wet creature almost 2 centimeters long, it curled in the forceps, writhing. Yumi's vision dimmed. The nurse pushed her head forward. They kept coming. Some were small and ghostly white, others thick, dark, their bodies slick with blood and fluid. One had burrowed so deep near her occipital bone that its removal left her dizzy. She wept, not from pain, but from the horror of it, of what had lived inside her. When the last one was removed, 14 in total, the doctor placed them all in a steel tray. They squirmed, blind and glistening. Yumi stared at them in stunned silence. These things had grown inside her, fed on her. In the weeks that followed, her scalp healed, but Yumi didn't. She shaved her head, unable to stand the sensation of hair brushing her skin. She bought a magnifying mirror and inspected her scalp every hour. She became obsessed with hygiene, boiling her pillowcases, disinfecting combs and towels. She scoured the internet for case studies, learning more about botflies, warble flies, and other parasites than any normal person should. She started seeing things in crowds, flickers of movement in strangers' hair. She scanned every head, searching for unnatural twitches. Her boyfriend drifted away, unable to understand her fear. Her co-workers whispered. She told herself it was over, but one night as she lay in bed, lights off, mirror in hand, she thought she saw something, a tiny bump, near her temple. And for just a moment, just one, she felt the unmistakable flutter of something breathing beneath her skin.